Well, let's speak to the woman who is behind that Oscars So White hashtag trending on Twitter, April Rain. Very good morning to you, April. Now, who should have been nominated?
Well, I think that there were an abundance of quality work put in by people both in front of and behind the camera. I don't want to get into specifics necessarily, because saying that someone should have not been nominated automatically says that they should have taken the role or the spot of someone else that actually was nominated, and that's not the point of Oscars So White at all. The entire point of Oscars So White is to call attention to the lack of inclusiveness or inclusion and diversity with respect to the films that are being made. So in fact, we boycotted last year, and we know for a fact that the viewership of the Oscars was down for the lowest point in the previous 6 years. And so we expect that that will happen again this year, because our boycott will be on an even bigger scale, buoyed by people like Jada Pinkett Smith and Spike Lee and Stephen King and Don Cheadle, who have come out and expressed their concern about the lack of inclusion and diversity in film.
I mean, it does seem extraordinary, doesn't it? You've got a black president in the United States, the first one that there's ever been, and yet you have the Academy Awards 2 years running not being able to find a single black actor, actress in the world who can be nominated for any of the acting Oscars. I mean, I find it absolutely appalling. But April, given it's 2 years running, there's clearly something fundamentally wrong with the way the Academy Awards is set up. Is the main reason that 94% of the 6,000 or so members are white?
Well, I wouldn't say that. I'm not exactly sure what the correlation is between having a black president and not having black actors nominated. And in fact, Oscars So White is not specifically about black actors and actresses, but people of color in all marginalized communities, which would include the LGBTQ community, the differently abled community, Hispanics, Latinos, in addition to black actors and actresses, and in fact, those behind the screen as well. So there is a concern that the Academy is over 90% white, that the average voting age is over 60 years old, and that it is predominantly male. And so I think that Academy President Cheryl Boone Isaacs has a ways to go, and even though she has brought in over 300 new members to the Academy, but still work needs to be done with respect to the structure of the Academy and also how voting is done.
Yeah, okay. I mean, the point I was making is that if you obviously had the same electoral process for the president as you have for the Academy, you would never have had a black president. If 94% of the electorate in America for the presidency were white, then you would never get a black president. That was the parallel I was perhaps rather clumsily making.
But I just wonder, can I just quickly, because we're running out of time with you, I just want to ask, Chris Rock is a black comedian, he is hosting the Oscars. What would you hope Chris Rock would do in this situation? He's not someone who holds back on his opinions, is he?
He's not, and so I would hope that Chris does the absolute best job that he can, and I'm sure that he will. He is known for his biting political and social commentary, and I would expect nothing less here. So I wish him all the best. I won't be watching the Oscars because we will be boycotting and we'll have alternative programming planned, but I wish him all the best on Oscars night.
Should Chris Rock pull out as the host?
That is his choice to make. It is not mine.
What is your opinion?
I think that he should do what is best for Chris Rock. He has contracted to be the host of the Oscars. He knew of the issues with respect to diversity and inclusion when he chose to become the host. And so why should he pull out now? Nothing has changed since he decided to become the host.